If you're looking at buying a house in DC, chances are you're going to be looking at some older homes. New construction does exist, but it is a little less common. And many of our homes were built between 1900 and 1950, which makes them at this point pretty old. The building materials that were used in that time, some of them are very durable. We find that brick is a great exterior material if it's well maintained. The wood that was used for floor joists or flooring can absolutely stand the test of time and last for many years to come. Homes that were built in these older time periods are generally very solid, but there are some components of them that do often need to be replaced. So last weekend, I was out with a client and we saw an older home. And in the pictures of the listing, it looked really nice and updated. They had remodeled the kitchen and the bathroom, and those things looked great. But then when we visited the home, upon further inspection, we found that a lot of the things behind the walls had not been updated. So I wanted to share with you today a few things that I look at in older homes to get a better picture of the condition. Now, there's nothing wrong with a home that hasn't had updates. It's more a matter of budgeting and what level of renovation you're comfortable with. Certainly, you don't want to buy a home thinking it's move-in ready because the kitchen or bathroom's remodeled, and then find out that it's going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars to update things that you just didn't plan on. So, here are the things that I look for. The first thing is plumbing. If a home has original plumbing, that's going to be problematic at this point, whether it's cast iron or in some cases, even copper is problematic once it reaches a certain age. It just becomes prone to leaks. So, understanding whether the plumbing throughout the home has been replaced or not is important. And the bigger item is the sewer line. If that has not been replaced, then it's a good idea to either get insurance for the sewer line or have it inspected at some point. Replacing a sewer line can be ten to $20,000. Next, we have electrical. So we see electrical panels and wiring in like a wide range of conditions. Electric, of course, is a safety concern if it's not up to date, if there's materials that were used that are no longer considered safe. And so that's why electric is a big deal. Things like ungrounded outlets or cloth covered wiring, those are problematic and may need to be replaced or at least evaluated by a licensed electrician. So a lot of times it is recommended that if you have original wiring in a house that it is replaced for safety. Next, we look at windows. So original windows, while they can be very historic and appealing, sometimes aren't the best, especially if they haven't been well maintained over time. They may not be as energy efficient, they may not open and close very well, and replacing windows can be very expensive, especially if they are not standard sizes. Last but not least, I have waterproofing on here. So the way that basements were built when older homes were constructed is a little bit different than today. A lot of times they have a cinder block foundation or a foundation that isn't the most watertight. And depending on the soil in the area, it may be necessary to install waterproofing systems. Taking a look at that, whether a sump pump and French drain system has been installed, whether there's any signs of water intrusion, is another thing that I look for because that can also be a pretty costly improvement.